Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, it's still a bit cold here. I live outside Chicago, as my friend from Great Britain says. It's too bloody cold here, but we'll get through it. So, not a problem. Also, hope everybody enjoyed New Year's Eve. I always like watching the Rose Bowl parade. And it was sad that they had a lot of rain yesterday. But anyway, it was so beautiful out too. And also, what's really fun too is Princess Cruises had their Star Princess. And the Tournament Roses was a float. Okay, that was so fun. I mean, it was such a beautiful float, and what they did was they mentioned, of course, they ring in the new year with the Star Princess, and it was Alaskan themed float, and the Rose Bowl parade. Yes, and what they're doing is it was just really fun too, because once again they were unveiling their Together in Magic of Alaska too. It was such a beautiful float too, which is great too because they kind of embedded the Alaska theme too. So once again too is with the Rose Bowl parade, of course, they got millions of viewers, of course, and thousands of bystanders too. And as their float went down, what was really fun too is if you remember the Love Boat TV series, yes, I used to watch it all the time, especially when I was in grad school. I come home, watch the reruns, just unwrapped from going to graduate school at Loyola. But anyway, it was great too, because what they did was they really embraced something very special by celebrating a special symbolic christening of the Rose Bowl Parade float with a ceremonial break of the Pantalones Organic Tequila. Okay, and what they did too is the christening took place actually at the Pasadena facilities of the Artistic Entertainment Services, and that's the builder behind the float's intricate floral and departure signature design too. And Jill Whalen, who was Princess Cruises' Princess Celebration Ambassador, pronounced, "I named this float the Star Princess. May God bless her, and I'll hook Chris down Colorado Boulevard on her." I thought that was so wonderful. I mean, I don't know if you remember Jill Whalen. She actually was on the Love Boat TV series too. She was the daughter of Captain Stubing, but she's become their celebration ambassador. She's fantastic. But actually named the float the Star Princess before. It was really fun to see too. Really great too. Just I'm smiling in tears too because it's such a great memory too. Oh my God, yes. Beautiful. I love it. So anyway, congratulations, and once again, they did a Alaskan themed float in the Rose Bowl Parade, and that was great too. So once again, they actually christened a float. How fun, right? And Jill Whalen from the Love Boat TV series, she was actually Captain Stubing's daughter, and she's become their ambassador, which is great too. So it was really fun too. So once again, and it was a bit rainy, but they got through it, so that was good too. And something else that came out too is, what's fun too is also Windstar Cruises. They just got their new ship, the Star Seeker. Yes, and right now she's sailing overseas. It's Windstar Cruises Star Seeker. That's a brand new ship. Was just built, and on December 28th, she set sail on her maiden voyage. It's a transatlantic crossing from Malaga, Spain, to Miami for our first ship's for christening too. And the christening is going to take place on January 15th, and it's going to be featuring Libby Ann Schultz, who's the daughter of Windstar founder Phil Ansch, I think it's pronounced Ann Schultz, as godmother. Then the ship is going to be actually departing on a 7-night christening sailing from to San Juan. Also calls to the Dominican Republic and the British Virgin Islands. A bit more about the Star Seeker. She looks really gorgeous. I'm going to write about her too. She looks gorgeous. But with Windstar Cruises, they're smaller ships. It's really great. They really invent different things too. And she only accommodates 224 guests. She's the first new build in Windstar Cruises Star class, which includes the Star Breeze, the Star Legend, and the Star Prime. And most of the Star Seeker's 112 suites feature either a private veranda or a floor-to-ceiling window too, which is great too. And They got 7 new suite categories on the Star Seeker, including 2 548 square foot Verizon owners suites with wraparound balconies. Yes, a wraparound balcony. And the 30 Infinity Suites have floor-to-ceiling windows. With the 10 Ocean View Suites, they have mosaic glass showers too. And she'll be sailing in the Caribbean this winter right now. Christening is going to be on January 15th, about 2 weeks away. And then this winter, she's sailing the Caribbean. And the Star Seeker is going to cruise Alaska this summer. Yes, it's already 2026. I keep forgetting. Yes, we're into 2026. But anyway, he's cruising Alaska this summer, and then Southeast Asia next fall and winter too. So with the Star Seeker, that's a new ship, but also she's got another ship coming up too. The Star Explorer is going to be a sister ship of the Star Seeker. She's scheduled to debut in actually December 2026. So once again, how fun to see a new ship just coming overseas, and then going to be christened, of course, on January 15th, coming up in less than 2 weeks. That's great too. So yes, great things too. And something really interesting and fun about too. I'll talk about more ships too. But anyway, what's really kind of fun too is how cruise lines pick the right ports. Okay, because years ago when cruising first started, of course, thanks to Carnival Cruise Line, of course, another cruise line started too. What they did was they kind of debuted more in Port Miami. As the industry grew, they added more ports they depart from, including, of course, Port Everglades and Fort Lauderdale, which is gorgeous. Also, we've got the port that's actually outside of Orlando. Okay, Port Canaveral. Also, ship sail out of Tampa, plus we've got ship sail out of New York. Also on the West Coast, of course, but also Galveston. I was just there, of course, earlier. Well, end of last year, actually, it was actually in November, but they just built a brand new port in Galveston. Beautiful. And Carnival Cruise Line has actually been sailing out of Port Galveston for 25 years now, which is great too, but also with the new port that they actually created in Galveston, where I was there for their ribbon cutting ceremony on the ship, the Seashore, which is MC Cruises' ship, sails out of the area around. It's great too. So anyway, as far as how cruise lines pick the right ports too, because once again, you've got so many choices. You've got bigger ships, you've got smaller ships. I mean, Star Seeker just accommodates 226 guests. Okay? Other cruise lines, of course, can actually accommodate thousands of guests. Of course, Royal Caribbean is about over 5,000 guests, but also how they pick the right ports, because once again, what's nice too is when you think about river cruising in Europe, river cruising is definitely the way to go. I've not done it myself. I want to so badly, but anyway, with river cruising over in Europe, they have to have smaller ships. Some ships can't actually their ports are too big, but also with river cruise line ships are smaller, but also it goes back to how does a cruise line actually pick the right ports for their ships to go to too. And once again, too, it just kind of goes back to how do you decide on picking out a cruise, too. I was just talking to somebody who's never been on a cruise, asking for advice, because he knows I'm the cruise expert. But also, once again, it kind of depends on what the guests want. You know, for instance, a deciding factor is really the destinations that the ship's going to actually visit. Okay, that's important, too. And then what happens during those ports of call actually can make or break the cruise experience, too. You know, for instance, if you got long lines, facilities that kind of teeny tiny, that kind of stuff too. Once again, it goes back to how cruise lines actually decide on picking out the right ports for their ships to actually cruise to. So once again, it's just kind of a big thing too. And once again, too, it's great because once again, for instance, I mean, Luxury Cruise Line, it's Luxury Cruise Line Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection also places their guest experience at the heart of everything they do too. And another thing came up too is really, really fascinating information I found too, but also it goes back to, you know, having enough, as far as home ports and also the turnaround ports, you have to have the right infrastructure and equipment in place to quickly and safely process guests, bunker the fuel, load provisions, and more, of course. And have enough items such as x-ray machines, check-in desks, suitable facilities, and a clear, simple process. And luggage handling is really, really important too. And something else too comes up too is actually we've got different people, including one that was talking to in this great article, but it was actually Captain Francesco De Palma, is actually the Vice President of Port and Fleet Operations Explorer Journeys. This is luxury cruise line too, but he just mentioned it's imperative to really have the ports prioritize upgrading their berthing facilities, terminal buildings, and really surrounding infrastructure too. So it can accommodate different people, different guests too, and different ships too. So once again, it goes back to, you know, technology really plays an essential role too, but also it goes back to the facilities where the cruise ships actually dock, how people actually board and disembark the ships too. So it's very, very seamless. And once again, really, really kind of fun too is because with MSC Cruises, the MSC Group, which is family owned, they own MSC Cruises, they own Explorer Journeys, they got their nonprofit, plus they got their Mediterranean Shipping Company. What they did was they created a beautiful terminal in Miami, Port Miami. I was there actually when I was boarding the World America for a christening cruise. It was great, but this cruise terminal is actually 200,000 square foot cruise terminal. It is beautiful. What they've got is they've got e-gates, technology, security solutions too, but just, it's beautiful, but it's just so easy to get through too because of the navigation with their technology. And it just opened up in April this year. And like I said, this terminal is just so gorgeous. It's easy to walk through too, easy to get through too. And like I said, it was built also real quick too. It was actually, this MSC Miami Cruise Terminal was actually built from sustainable materials, equipped with shore power, systems for waste management, water recycling, other environmental technologies too, and also ways to decarbonize operations, reduce local emissions too. So once again, it's really, really great too. But having been there myself too, it was absolutely beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful ports. I mean, I've actually embarked on myself too, but they just open up. It's really, really great too. It's just beautiful. But like I said, they're really, really expanding more too. So it goes back to what cruise lines are doing as far as their terminals, because once again, and where the ships actually can embark from too is important too, because once again, too, it just goes back to the size of the ship and what they can actually accommodate as far as the number of people can actually accommodate disembarking from that ship on board the ship to the port itself too. And like I said, the biggest thing too is with destinations, because cruise lines actually sail around the world, okay? Caribbean Cruises actually started the whole industry years ago, which is really great too. And then of course expanding Alaska, which is great too. It's beautiful. They want to go back too, but also you've got cruise lines that sail in different places. Europe, of course. You've got cruises that actually sail on the Nile River, which is great. That's Monorail is one. You've got Antarctica cruises too, but once again, it goes back to as far as where cruise line ships go to where they actually their destinations. It goes back to really, I think, the ports where the ships actually dock, okay? What they do is they work with the local communities, which is very, very important too, because once again, it comes down to success really comes down to collaborating between ports and local communities too, and also they've got as far as ensuring that cruising does have a positive impact on local communities with really lies with ports. And cruise lines really want to make sure that they look for opportunities to actually travel more thoughtfully too, which is great too. And as mentioned, one of the biggest challenges too, of course, particularly for ports, handling large vessels includes making sure the local community is heavily involved too, and embrace the cruise industry too. So once again too, it's important that they work together. And as mentioned, a lot of cruise ports are now having shore power, Port Miami just did that, and that's where their ships can actually fuel the ship with shore power, which is great too. And we've got different places to go to too. For instance, I know that they've got this Lisbon cruise port in Portugal, and right now their key priority is becoming more sustainable, while also driving growth too for passenger satisfaction. And like I said, doing really, really great initiatives too. Another one, of course, is let's see, it's I think it's pronounced Flamport in Norway. Actually, one of Norway's most visited cruise destinations too, and they've set really clear priorities for the next 2 years. The port really is focusing on enhancing the facilities to improve the passenger flow and also strengthen the collaboration with cruise operators. Another is they're becoming more environmentally sustainable too. They're preparing to introduce shore power infrastructure in 2027, which is great. That also enable large cruise ships to connect with clean energy and reduce emissions while also dock there too. And that's really, really kind of fun too. Also, the Flamport really seeks to secure its reputation as a leader in sustainable fjord tourism, while also supporting the local community too. That's really great too. So once again, just so many things out there as far as different cruise ports and destinations, what they're doing to really embrace the cruise industry, but adding more value too. Another one is the Port of Cartagena in Spain, and they mentioned their key priority for 2026 this year is to strengthen Cartagena's position as a sustainable, passenger-friendly Mediterranean cruise destination too. They're advancing their green port initiatives, including preparing for shore power, energy-efficient measures too. Same time, the Port Authority is also enhancing their terminal structure to improve comfort, accessibility, and also seamless welcome for passengers too. And what's great too is we've got other ports. Another good example too is the port of I think it's pronounced Corula. It's in Spain, and it continues to consolidate its position as a benchmark for sustainable cruise traffic on the Atlantic coast of Spain. And each call not only brings thousands of visitors to the city, but they also generate economic benefits for the local community, local economic things too. It's great too. So once again, just it's really great what cruise lines are doing, working with different ports. The ports are really, really ramping up different ways too. Another one actually is really, really fun. I've not been there, but New Zealand. My parents went there years ago. But there's it's Port Marlborough. I think it's pronounced Marlborough, New Zealand. It's centrally located in New Zealand's North and South Islands, and this port actually is a close cruise industry partner and highlight on the South Pacific itineraries. Riding through the Marlborough Sounds, guests can really enjoy access to nearby wine and heritage regions that showcase the country's character and natural beauty. And they also continue to work with the cruise operators to really deliver efficient, safe, and seamless visits too. And like I said, they're working on different things too as far as passenger facilities, seamless visits, which is great. Also, sustainability is another big thing too. So it's really kind of fun too, as far as how cruise lines actually work with different ports, but also what the different cruise ports are doing too, to actually work with different places for their ships to sail from too, depending on the size of the ships and the itineraries they're offering too. And I know that there's a new, let's see here, we'll go here too. There's one called Jacksport USA, and what they're doing is this terminal now offers year-round ground service for Carnival Cruise Line and a new seasonal services for Norwegian Cruise Line too. So once again, they've upgraded the terminal's boarding area, the VIP lounge. Also, they want to increase cruise opportunities too, and really delight passengers with modern amenities too, which is great too. So that's great too. Once again, too, it's just great to find out cruise lines are doing working with different cruise ports too, because once again, that's the beginning of the adventure too. When you think about that too, I mean, getting aboard the ship is really great. It just relaxes me so much. But then when you actually dock, you get so excited about getting off the ship too, and it's going to have seamless experiences too, which is great too. So that's really wonderful, isn't it? Just I found that just recently. I thought let's share this because once again, how cruise lines pick the right ports for the ships to sail on really go back to the size of the ships, their itineraries, where they're sailing to, etc. But that's really, I think, kind of fun too. And also, something new that just came up too is actually Crystal Cruises. They are expanding. They just announced this last week. They are expanding with 3 luxury ships by 2032. Yes. Crystal Cruises is back. That's great too. Crystal Cruises, I actually sailed on Crystal Cruises in 2016. It was great. They had 2 ships. Then what happened is they got bought up by a bigger company, and the company went under. But also what's great too is they were actually acquired by A&K Travel Group. Okay. And I think that's so wonderful because when I was on the Crystal Serenity myself too, the ship was gorgeous. I've never seen so many people that just sailed on that ship and came back and sailed on a Crystal ship. They didn't sail on other cruise line ships at all. Period. It was great. Also, what was great too is the staff that worked on board the ships, Crystal Cruises, were phenomenal. But also, you could tell they were so loyal. I mean, I talked to one staff member. He quietly told me he worked for 3 or 4 different cruise lines before he actually started working for Crystal Cruises. And he said it was the best experience he ever had too. And he was not going to go back to other cruise lines too. So I'm so glad that when Crystal went under, they got bought out by A&K Travel Group, which is actually part of Abercrombie and Kent, which is great. And it's so exciting because now they made announcements they're planning to expand beyond their fleet of just the 2 ships, the Crystal Serenity and the Crystal Symphony, with 3 new builds. And the first of which is going to be her name. They announced her name. Her name is going to be called the Crystal Grace. Yes. So Crystal Grace is going to be the new ship, first new ship coming out for Crystal Cruises in 2000. Let's see when she's coming out. I think when she's going to come out. Let me see here for us too. They've got the 3 new ships. Okay, yeah, Crystal Grace is going to debut in 2028. Okay, and a bit more about the Crystal Grace. She's going to have 337 suites, and they just announced some looks at what they're doing as far as design. So what's great too is some categories will include Crystal's first wraparound verandas. Also, accommodations will be designed to offer more storage space than their current ships, the Symphony and also the Crystal Serenity too. The Crystal Symphony was actually built in 1995. The Crystal Serenity was built in 2003, but they are beautiful ships too. And once again, the Crystal Grace, I love the name, is scheduled to debut on June 11th of 2028 and should be the first of 3 additions to Crystal's fleet. She's going to have 6 different suite categories, and these are going to range from 230 square feet to 1,232 square feet, okay? And they've got guest rooms with verandas. We'll have 230 square feet plus a 57 square foot veranda. Beautiful. And features include a sofa and also overhead storage too, which is great. And they mentioned a bit more about the Crystal Grace. I love the name. Okay, they've got their let's see, their Aquamarine Veranda Suites will be 333 square feet with an 85-foot square veranda. It'll also have a sofa and vanity, and select suites will actually have a bathtub and separate shower or walk-in closet. And then, of course, guests there will receive daily afternoon canapes, which is great too. And they've got their it's called their Ada Aquamarine Veranda Suites. These are 341 square feet with an 85 square foot veranda. And these are also designed for accessibility too, which is great too. Then they've got another class is their Sapphire Suites. These will range from 461 to 537 square feet with either a 113 square foot veranda or a 344 square foot wraparound veranda too. and the suites have separate living and sleeping areas. Dining room table, walk-in closet. The bathroom has a separate shower and tub, and guests can and they can receive also afternoon canapes, which is great too. And then you've got junior suites, and these are the four mid-size midship junior suites, penthouse suites, actually 845 square feet, with a 227 square foot veranda. The two suites on deck 8 are forward, and they're 740 square feet with a 602 square foot wraparound veranda. The suites also have separate living and dining room areas, walk-in closet, which of course females like us need, right? Whirlpool bathtub, a guest bathroom too, which is great too. And guests, of course, receive those daily canapes, unlimited laundry service, and also unlimited specialty dining too. And then, of course, another thing they got too is they've got these they got penthouse suites. They're midship. They're 1,232 square feet with a 659 square foot veranda. There are 4 suites at the half of the ship that are 1,220 square feet with a 982 square foot wraparound veranda too. These suites will have 2 walk-in closets, okay? Separate living and dining areas. Also study, a bar, guest bathroom, whirlpool bathroom, bathtub, and also bidet. And also, of course, guests receive daily canapes, unlimited laundry service, and also unlimited specialty dining too, which is great too. But it's just so fun that they're expanding to having 3 new ships. The first one coming out next will be the Crystal Grace. I love the name. And she's going to be coming out in June of 2028, okay? As far as the other ships, it's great too. Coming out with Crystal Cruises. I know that they have 3 new builds. As mentioned, Crystal Grace is one. And like I said, they're working on that too. And let's see here. Let me see here real quick here. They've already been working with designers, etc. And that's great too. So once again, they've got, all the suites have butler service, which is great. I wasn't like butlers doing everything for you, but all suites have butler service. They've got curated pillow menu and bed linens. Also, they've got different suites, which I've talked about too, which is great too. And also, they've got their like I said, as far as more details, they're still planning things out too, of course, but what's great too is they're going to feature precious marbles, also Italian fabrics and natural materials, which is great. Also, they've got, what's great too is clients can really participate in signature entertainment in a world-class casino, a spa, and fitness center, as well as a dedicated kids facility for multi-generational travelers too, right? And it has, as mentioned, the ship offers all suite accommodations with private verandas, including a single occupancy category for solo travelers too, which is great too. I mean, it's good to get on a ship, and even if you travel by yourself, I've done that myself before, but it's good to get on a ship and just relax, meet different people. It's great too, because it's a community at sea too, which is great too. And as mentioned, different categories too, and as mentioned, they've just mentioned the name of their first new ship coming out in 2028. That is the Crystal Grace, so keep in mind too. And as mentioned, Crystal Cruises is beautiful. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he's sailed on Crystal before. He's so excited about seeing their new ship coming out in 2028. Definitely wants to sail on that one too, so that's great too. As far as other places to sail to, one thing I mentioned too is on waterways, they just announced a major expansion of their popular Africa safaris and wildlife cruise program too. They just announced this, and it's they're going to be introducing 4 new itineraries beginning August of 2026. What, 6 months away now? I mean, I keep forgetting we're in 2026, but they're going to be offering 4 new itineraries beginning August this year, okay? And they're designed to highlight the continent's remarkable diversity. And these new journeys are going to have a luxurious 3-night Chobe River cruise on board their intimate 24-passenger Zambezi Queen, and with immersive and land programs that feature the Victoria Falls. Also, they've added destinations including Kenya, Zanzibar, and these pronounced Namibia, and also the Skeleton Coast. Okay, and with each of these new itineraries, really blends in exceptional wildlife viewing, which is great too, with opportunities for experience that really feature the region's native culture, cuisine, and landscapes too. As far as length, they're going to range from 9 to 18 nights, of course, and the new journeys will include from the Cape to the Falls, iconic Africa, classic Kenya, and also southern Africa, and also the African Wonders and the Skeleton Coast. Okay, now confession, I've not heard of the Skeleton Coast. My parents actually had a chance to go to South Africa. It was great too. But anyway, it's called the Skeleton Coast. I'll find out what share that with you in my next episode. Okay, keep in mind too. But also, what's great too is Catherine Powell, who is the CEO of Waterways, mentioned our African program is really meaningful to me, as it's one of the first cruises I experienced with Waterways after becoming CEO, and it truly left an unforgettable impression on me too. And she said, we're thrilled to offer even more opportunities for our guests experience, and also the trip of a lifetime, seeing wildlife right on the river banks, okay, connecting with amazing people, also exploring the rich cultures and landscapes that really make this region so special. Our guests can now explore even more of the southern and eastern Africa in comfort, style, while also supporting local communities too, through sustainable tourism too. As far as some of the highlights, okay, they mentioned they've got from the Cape of the Falls. This is 9 or 11 nights, and this journey actually is from Cape Town to Victoria Falls, featuring penguin encounters at Boulders Beach, also multiple river and land safaris. Also, they have an optional 2-night Johannesburg extension. Then they've got their iconic Africa, which is 14 nights. It features Cape Town, Victoria Falls, and a 3-night stay in Greater Kruger National Park, which is home of the Big Five. Another one is their classic Kenya and Southern Africa. This is 14 or 18 nights across regional experience, combining the Chobe River and also Victoria Falls with Kenya's Amboseli. I think it's pronounced Amboseli. Also their Marcel Mava reserves, and also they've got an optional Zanzibar extension too. Also they've got their African Wonders and the Skeleton Coast. That's 15 nights, and that includes showcases, places, landscapes of Namibia, and also their Namibia Nature Reserve, also the Tasho National Park, and also their dramatic Skeleton Coast. And these new itineraries are available in 2026 and 2027 departures. They're created for travelers who really want an authentic, enriching African experience too, with their iconic wildlife and also boutique accommodations. They got expert local guides, which is great too, and also what is really their signature personalized service too. It's great too. So it just looks so beautiful. Once again, these are small ships, and how wonderful actually be able to be on a river ship that actually where you can actually see the wildlife off in the distance. But it's so beautiful. I think it's so fun. And in the heart of each journey, the intimate, like for instance, their 28-passenger Zambezi Queen was designed for up-close wildlife viewing, along with Africa's legendary Chobe River. Also eco-friendly and thoughtfully designed, she features a solar heating system, low-emission generators, also water jet propulsion, and guests can enjoy private balcony suites with unobstructed river views. Also, they've got their open-air sun deck with a plunge pool, okay, They've got their complimentary South African wines, beers, spirits, and soft drinks throughout the day too. So keep in mind, because once again, I always just announce this. Okay, they're doing a bigger expansion. That's it's very part of their popular African Safaris and Mala cruise program. They just announced this major expansion, and they're going to be introducing 4 new itineraries, of course, starting in August this year. So August 2026. But how wonderful, if you think about that too, just looks so exciting and wonderful too. And as mentioned, my parents had a chance to go to Africa a couple times. It was just beautiful what they experienced too, and just wonderful. Okay, I think it's really fun to kind of share that with you too, and think about that too. Because once again, when we think about Always, we think about them. They really kind of revolutionized river cruising, thanks to Rudy Sutton. He's the co-founder and chairman, along with Kristen Currents, and they had another partner who passed away, but their son came in. But also, it's great what they did was really expand different things too. Also, their cruises go beyond the river. They got their now cruises. Now they've got these are expanding, of course, too. Now something else they did too was actually here in 2025. Last year, they launched their 2 different ships that sail on the Magdalene River in South America, and they really, really embed the culture there too, which is really, really great too. So keep it in mind, because once again, so many options there too, and people always ask me, okay, what's the best cruise? But the point is, there's so many options out there. Kind of go back to, if you're not taking a cruise, maybe think about doing an ocean cruise first, but also so many options out there too. You've got bigger ships, smaller ships. You've got choices where you want to sail to. And as mentioned, we got new ships coming out this year. I'll share more about that right now, because we've got, of course, Explorer Journeys is going to have their Explorer 3 coming out this summer, and it's their cruise. It's the first actually liquefied natural gas power vessel, and the Explorer Journeys is luxury. They call it they're bringing the ocean life to sea, but also with Explorer Journeys, they're owned by the MSC Group, which is family owned. They own Explorer Journeys, their luxury cruise line. They own MSC Cruises, which is great. They've got their container shipping company, plus they've got their nonprofit, the MSC Foundation. And what they're doing too is on board their new Explorer 3 coming out this summer. She'll have a slight cabin number increase from 461 to 463 cabins aboard the ship. And they've got they're going to have, let's see here, they're going to be changing things around, but also, like I said, just they're making 24% of the inventory upper tier ocean penthouse suites, 9% of elevated ocean residences, plus 1 additional owner's residence. They've had fitness, spa, and gym facilities will be in a unified space, while their youth facilities will be reconfigured into separate age-specific groups too, which is great too. And also MSC Cruises, which is part of the MSC Group, is going to continue their expanding, of course, too. They've got their new MSC World Asia set sail in December of this year. And it's their 3rd world-class vessel. Okay, the ship is called the World Asia. It follows the MSC World Europe, or Europa. Also, the MSC World America. I was on MSC World America for a Christian cruise in April of 2025. It was phenomenal. And once again, the World Asia is going to first deploy in the Mediterranean, and then compared to its sister ships, it will also have their MSC Yacht Club, their ship within a ship complex, with a large selection of available suites. Okay, including their new 570-foot square Royal Duplex Suite 2. And also Norwegian Cruise Line, they have one of their new Prima class ships coming out in April this year, Norwegian Luna. She's going to be a 10% bigger version of their preceding Norwegian Prima and Norwegian Viva. Also feature the line's first aqua slide coaster. They're going to feature, there's a slide coaster on their other ships too. They're going to feature the slide coaster, aqua slide coaster, It's a hybrid water slide roller coaster. And then new to the Haven, which is their ship with ship concept, they're going to have a 3-bedroom duplex Haven Suites. Also, additionally, Rocket Man, a Celebration Elton John's could be one of the two ship-specific headlining shows too. And then another one coming out too is we got Regent Seven Seas, which is a luxury cruise line, and they've got their new Prestige class. It's going to be the Seven Seas Prestige. Is set to continue come online in December 2026. It's the luxury cruise line's first ship in 10 years. How wonderful, isn't it? First ship in 10 years, that's great too. And she's going to be size 77,000 tons to accommodate 850 guests, and it's going to be one of the highest passenger to space ratio cabins in the industry. Full inclusive, of course, too. They'll have 7 different specialty restaurants, 11 dining experiences, including their new Azure for mixed Mediterranean flavors. The ship's going to be outfitted with new suite categories, and also, for instance, like the dual loft varieties too. And the Royal Caribbean is going to ship coming out too. Their Legend of Seas repurposes for historic ship name for the company, but Legend, which is set to debut in July 2026, is going to be entirely new, building on the Icon Seas and also their Star Seas sister ships too. And new on board will be their Icon class first Royal Railway dining experience, dinner show. So that's going to be their Royal Railroad dinner show experience. How fun! And it's going to be simulated trains, trains journeys, themed silk routes. Yes, silk routes. Also, they would return their supper club with a freshly themed, the Golden Age of Hollywood. Also, their Charlie and the Chocolate Factory will be the theme's main off-Broadway production show. So, if you've seen that show before, well, think about maybe going to Legend of Seas, which is going to be coming out, of course, too, debuting this July, where the ship can actually see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, their main off-Broadway production show. How fun, isn't it? I love it. I love that name. I love what they're doing too. Because once again, with cruise lines, they offer combat entertainment, and what they do is they switch things too. It's not the whole. When you would see ships before, and you were on ships for Broadway productions, they might be 2 hours. In this case, they shave them down, which is great too. So, once again, we've got beautiful options there as far as entertainment on board, and just a bit more. And we've got, as far as expedition and small ships and yachts coming out too, we've got American Cruise Lines. They're family owned, and they're adding to their Patriot class of small ships. They're going to launch 2 more. They're going to be launching the American Maverick and the American Ranger in June and September this year. And both will just take a maximum of 130 guests to the New England region and as far south to the Florida Gulf Coast. Thanks to their ship's deeper drafts too, amenities on board will extend to all balcony accommodations with multiple dining venues too. And then Emerald Cruises and Tours is going to be expanding their fleet of riverboats to encompass mega yachts with the launch of their Emerald Azura and the Emerald Sakara in, of course, too. And they've got their Emerald Kaya is going to take the seas, okay? Because what they did was their Emerald Azura and Emerald Sakara debuted in 2022, 2023, and now this year in April, a couple months away, their third yacht, the Emerald Kaya, is going to be taking to the seas too. As far as the Emerald Kaya, she will accommodate 128 guests. She's a little bit slightly larger than the 100-guest Azura and Sakara, but it's still very, very intimate too. And the staterooms and suites will measure between 340 to 1,470 square feet. And 88% of these will actually offer verandas, which is great. I mean, verandas, if you think about it, it's a great way to really experience a cruise too. You can walk out the veranda, sit there, and watch the oceans, whatever you want to see too. It's really, really great too. And what they're doing is they will accommodate visitors to the Mediterranean during its maiden season too. Another fun thing too, of course, we've got is Four Seasons Yachts. Okay, this is Four Seasons Hotels, of course. They're getting into the cruise industry. Four Seasons Yacht brand. And they've got their new ship coming out this year, the Four Seasons 1. It was delayed a bit, but it's coming out in March, of course, too. And what they're doing is they're positioning it really to be more of the show's experience, which is great, too. Also, what's really fun, too, is they're having a very, very famous captain. Captain Kate McHugh. She's formerly with Celebrity Cruises, but she's going to be master of the yacht, overseeing the live restaurants and bars, also their Transurf Marina, also expensive pool areas and decks too. But it's great that they have hired Captain Kate McHugh to be captain of their new ship, the Four Seasons 1, coming out this March. And I think it's really fun too, because we've got some exciting things, and Captain Kate McHugh is such an energetic, great person too. And she had some time off from Celebrity Cruises because she lost her cat. Very, very hard on her, but she's coming back, and it's really fun too, because once again, I happened to see her. I was actually at C2 Cruise Global Conference in earlier in April in 2025. I ran into her quickly. She was getting ready to meet her teams, but she's so great too, so it's really fun too. And we've got also, as I mentioned, I did mention we've got Windstar Cruises. They just acquired their new ship, which is great, the Star Seeker. And there's also, by the way, Windstar Cruises is actually the official cruise line of the James Beard Foundation too. So what's really great too is it's just was now sailing over to the United States. Should be cruising on January 15th at Port Miami too, so that's great too. So once again, great ships coming out too, and new ones coming out too. But great, because once again, you see so many options out there too. Just goes back to where do you want to go to, what do you want to see. Because once again, as mentioned before, when the cruise industry first started, it was a way to kind of change a ship from being just a method of transportation, okay? That's how the industry first got started, because when we started seeing the debut of really being able to fly over the ocean with planes, ships had been the main part of transportation. But then when that came up differently, there were ships out there, what do you do? And cruise lines came up, and people came up with ideas. Cruising to really, really part of a world of relaxation and vacations, too. And as mentioned, you got so many options out there. Alaska, of course, too, is actually a seasonal. The Alaska cruise is usually in, it's usually the first part of May, and they end middle of part of September because it gets too cold there. Bermuda is really more of a late spring, summer, late early fall option. Bermuda sails usually from New York. And you've got options, of course, sailing from the U.S. to the Caribbean. Also, you've got options as far as doing river cruises out of Europe, but also different places, too. And, of course, you've got luxury cruise lines. You've got ones that actually have been specially built because you can go to Antarctica, and that's really a hot button for some people, too. But just it's really great as far as options out there, too. Luxury cruise lines, and just goes back to what do you want to see? And it might be good to maybe put your toe in the ocean, so to speak. But as I tell people with the cruising, we all need a little vitamin C, but C is SCA, not C. You need vitamin C. But another option too is, we've got Great Lakes Cruises too. What happened too is this past year, which actually started in April, is when Victory Cruise Lines launched their Great Lakes Cruises, 5 Great Lake Cruises. And those will be sailing again, of course, starting later on in April again too, because it's seasonal too, but they do their 5 Great Lakes Cruises, which is great. Got a chance to experience it, and their two ships are very small, really pretty, and they sail, you can either embark from Chicago and then go through the 5 Great Lakes to Toronto, or you can go to Toronto and go through the 5 Great Lakes and then dock at Navy Pier in Chicago, which is great too. Just great options out there too. And because the ships are so small, you actually can see beautiful places too. A good example, of course, is Mackinac Island. With Mackinac Island, if you're not familiar with it, it's a place where they don't allow any cars or vehicles. None. And the great thing was when we went there on the Victory Cruise Line 1 ship, the ship is so small, we dock right there. They include, of course, free excursion for all their guests for each port, and I did the horse-drawn carriage, which is really, really beautiful. Just amazing what they do too. So, but like I said, if you've not seen some of the Great Lakes, I mean, definitely think about that too, because it's close, very relaxing too, different place to go see too, but just fun too. And as mentioned, just different options, because it's just so much fun to think about options out there too. There's so many right now. I'm just trying to figure out where we'll go my next cruise too. As I tell people, I'm going through a little bit of ship withdrawal right now, but having been on the World America Christening Cruise, that was wonderful. Also then going down to Houston and going down to the new port Galveston. It was great to see the new port, and it's great. And like I said, Galveston's a little island too, part of Texas, but it's great. Amazing things you can do there too, you know? It was fun, just so much fun. Two options out there like crazy too. And also, Carnival Cruise was actually sailing out of Port Galveston for, I think over 20 years, but they're great. It's really great too to think about that too. So once again, it goes back to where you want to go, what you want to see, experiences too, but just give some thought, because once again, in my case, years ago, I took a 3-night cruise, weekend cruise, and went to Norwegian Cruise Line's private outlet and also the Bahamas, but it was great too. I got hooked on cruising that way too. And also, what's great too is with Norwegian Cruise Line's private outlet, the first one there was ever in the industry, period, Great Stirrup Cay, they just open up their dock, which is really great because now their ships can actually dock right there and you walk right off, okay? Because years ago, what people had to do is the ships would actually tender, and you had to take tender boats in. Sometimes it got a little too wavy, they couldn't really stay there. I was there, let's see, I think about 2 years ago. It was great too. Once again, too, I'm so glad they got their new dock finished. It's now open, so the ships can actually dock right there at Great Stirrup Cay, and that is Norwegian Cruise Line's private outlet too. And that's another area too, as far as private outlets. Cruise lines have beautiful ones like crazy. One that just opened up last year in July was actually Carnival Cruise Lines and their Celebration Key. It's the first private outlet that Carnival Cruise Lines has had. It looks gorgeous. I wrote about it. Wasn't there, but I've written about it. It looks so beautiful. And of course, we've got Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. That is actually MSC Cruises private outlet. Is gorgeous. And what they did was, I was there for cruising on one of ships in 2021 in the fall. Then went back, of course, was on the World America for a christening cruise. We docked right there for 2 days. It was great because what they do was, that's when they actually open up their Marine Conservation Center, and they're building coral reef trees right there to put back in the ocean, to save the ocean. I think that's so wonderful because once again, cruise lines have really been going above and beyond when it comes to sustainability. Of course, going to shore power, also going to liquefied natural gas to operate their ships, of course. And also, I mean, they actually eliminated, a lot of plastic things, including plastic straws. They got rid of those, at least 7, 8 years ago. Once again, and also very careful about what they do as far as their other things they get rid of too. They just don't dump in the ocean. So once again, too, it just goes back to seeing what cruise lines are doing as far as leading the way to sustainability, because we need that more than ever to save the oceans too. But just being finally to see that Ocean Conservation Center in April, it was such a wonderful experience to be there for the ribbon cutting and to see where they're actually building the coral reef trees. It's just phenomenal. It's a beautiful island, and sustainability is something really the cruise lines are really focusing on too more than ever. So keep it in mind too, because once again, it's a way to actually visit different places, relax a little bit too, and it's all kind of customized, of course, to the guests, of course, which is great too, and their audience. So definitely keep in mind, because there's so many options out there too. I love it more than ever. It's just great options as far as what cruise lines are doing as far as sustainability, shore power, going to liquefied natural gas, eliminating plastic things. They got rid of plastic straws a long time ago too, but also no plastic cups. They do different things too, which is really great too. So it's just great they're doing too more than ever to really, really, really help save the ocean, because once again, they sail in the oceans and the rivers, and we need to save the oceans and the rivers too more than ever. So keep in mind too. Just mentioned a lot of options out there. as far as cruise ships. Once again, it goes back to think about where you want to go. Are you comfortable with a bigger ship, or maybe want something more intimate, smaller ship? Because once again, too, you've got, of course, different options. We've got, of course, luxury cruise lines, family cruise lines. Another one, too, it really is kind of fun, too, of course, is Virgin Voyages. That's Richard Branson's cruise line. And with that one, of course, they introduced their brilliant lady earlier this past year. But once again, you have to be at least 18 years or older to sail on Virgin Voyages. But what's great, too, is they don't have the main dining rooms. They've got different restaurants. You pick and choose. It's really, really intimate, too. The entertainment was really intimate. It's really great, too. And just amazing things they're doing, too, with Virgin Voyages, too. So really fun, too. And like I said, they just launched their Bright Lady last year in the fall. I wrote about it. Looks really, really beautiful, too. And we've got, of course, more ships coming out in the next couple of years, not just this year now, but next year, the year after, too. So that's really fun, too. Because once again, it goes back to think about where you want to go, what you want to do, too. And also, as I mentioned, too, it's so fun to see Star Princess at the Tournament Roses have a special float, as mentioned. And that was actually, the float was actually officially named by Jill Whalen, who was actually on the Love Boat TV series as Captain Stubbing's daughter. But how fun. Okay, it was just fun to watch the Rose Bowl parade yesterday. Sorry they had to have to embark with that rain, kind of crazy, but anyway, they made it through. Once again, it looks so beautiful. And to have Jill Whalen, who's actually their celebration ambassador, be there to actually name their float was really, really fun, too, because it's, once again, normally with the cruise ship, they do is they actually do a special ceremony. They christen the ship. It's a tradition in the industry, period, to create good feelings, etc. Too. Once again, it's just part of what cruise lines do when they bring out a new ship. They christen the ship, usually with someone famous. Sometimes it could be a family member. And once again, traditionally with cruise lines, they were christened by females. However, what's fun too is Norwegian Cruise Lines was the first cruise line to actually christen a ship with a godfather. Yes. And the godfather who christened their Norwegian Escape ship was actually Pitbull. He's the first godfather. He's really, really great. I was there at the christening. It was really, really fun too. And after he christened the ship, of course, then he actually performed a half-hour concert outside. It was really, really great too. So once again, just great they do too. But it's a naming ceremony to actually bring safety and life, etc., to the cruise lines experiences during too. And just it's a special ceremony. So once again, too, it's great too. So. But it's just great. Just so many things going out there too. Because once again, on cruise ships too with holidays. Yeah.
Okay, so you're wrapping up,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we'll end with a video, see which video I can get to and everything like that. But
I couldn't find one with the christening of the float. How fun is that though? They christened the float.
that was real fun.
Princess Cruises had Jill Whalen christen the float.
Wow.
How amazing! I met Gavin Stubing a couple times. Captain Kim Q. No, not I met Gavin McLeod, right? But I met him a couple times too. A couple times at conferences, and then one year I was there for the christening of the ship too. I actually met Gopher and Doc.
Yeah. And I think you said you met Isaac one time too?
Huh?
I think you said you met Isaac one time too?
I think I did too, but it's really fun because I met Gopher and then I met Doc. It was really fun too because they were christening of a Princess Cruise Line ship, and it was fun to actually meet him. Like, oh my God, I was just so excited to meet Gab McLeod a couple times. It was just an amazing person.
Yeah, that
And
sounds like that would be.
just amazing people. I told you, second or third time I met him, he was representing Princess Cruises as like their brand ambassador. He was at a conference, right? I'm still doing sales for another agency on the side, and I booked my parents on Princess Cruises for their anniversary. Okay, to Tahiti.
Right.
My dad loved Tahiti,
Right.
and cruising was easier for my mom because that's when she lost her right leg to heel cancer. So cruising was easier. I got them booked to go on Princess Cruises again to Tahiti cruise, right? So the idea was, it was for anniversary, right? I bought a happy anniversary card.
All right.
Gavin was going to be there, right? So I went to talk to him. You get your picture taken with him too, great, talk to him, whatever. And I said, Gavin, by the way, I've got my parents booked on Princess Cruises, this ship, for their anniversary. Would you mind signing this happy anniversary card to my parents?
Oh,
He
wow.
said, sure. When are they going? Can I go? But I gave my parents a happy anniversary card signed by Captain Stubing, and they're sailing on Princess Cruises for the anniversary. How wonderful is that?
That's very wonderful.
Oh, it was amazing. I can't, my mom and dad, they passed away, but the point is, as I tell my people, they're proud of having planned the next cruise to Tahiti, and the good thing is, their passports don't expire up there, and that's good too, so yes.
That's very good. Well, I know it's been a while, but Wick Will's out with the dogs again. I know there's going to be the dogs
That's fine,
coming
that's
in.
fine. They did some special things. They did special things for, of course, their newest cruise, and of course, Michael Bailey was there. It was really fun, just energetic. The furnace, what they showed, they did a big balloon thing that they're very into, celebrate Happy New Year's. I thought, how great! I want to do that next year. I really do. It's time, you know.
Good. We'll go out with the dogs, so let's check out the dogs that I know there are new dogs coming in 2026. So let's check out the dogs that were in 2025, I believe. Let's check this out.
Yes.
As we're designing the best family vacation, there was one piece that was missing, which is, of course, the family dogs. And when guests go on vacation, one of the key things that they miss are their pets back home. And when our crew are sailing on board for their contracts, one of the things they miss are their pets back at home. And so we really wanted to make sure we brought a fluffy addition to our crew family. We went and got Rover, and here we are now for Star. We're picking up Sailor, and Sailor will be living on Star of the Seas.
Well, the Chief Dog Officer was an idea that we created actually when we were developing and concepting the Ultimate Family Townhouse. We were all sitting around saying, when you think about the Ultimate Family Townhouse, what does that mean? And all these ideas came around, and somebody threw out the idea of having a family dog. And we said, well, it feels a little selfish to have a family dog for just one family. Why don't we have a family dog for the family on board the ship? And so that's how the position evolved, and we thought, well, obviously it's a very important position, and of course all important positions on ships are called chief, so we thought Chief Dog Officer is perfect.
When we first came up with the idea for Project Rover or Project Sailor, we realized we don't really know a lot about what it means to take care of a dog on a cruise ship. And so we partnered with some of the most well-respected animal well-being certifiers globally to really help us create this program from the ground up and make sure that when Rover and Sailor are on board, they're having the best day every day.
So there's a very well-written, crafted position description that, of course, the Chief Dog Officer can't read. The key mission is to have fun, and that's exactly what Rover and Sailor do. They just have fun.
So Sailor is very small. She's about 16 weeks. And so when Sailor gets on board, she's going to take everyone's breath away. Sailor's life on Star will be full of adventure. She and her Chief Dog Officer role really means that she gets to go and explore the ship, go and explore our private destinations with our crew members, really just being that warm, welcoming family for her.
I just totally fell in love with Sailor. I fell in love with Rover as well, but I also fell in love with Sailor. she's so beautiful and loving and funny, and so I just completely fell in love. When we were thinking about the idea, one of the questions was, well, what will the crew think? Will the crew like the idea or not? And so one of the team members had a golden retriever and volunteered to bring the golden retriever down to one of our ships on a turnaround day, and we fitted the dog with a GoPro camera. It was very touching because when we watched the video, so many crew stopped and hugged the dog and talked to the dog. When we saw that, we thought, wow, this is amazing. People miss their own family dogs.
And as we've done with Rover, as we're doing with Sailor, we really want to make sure we're focused on what's best for these animals. And really right now our focus is on Sailor and making sure that she is having the best life at sea when she gets on Star of the Seas in August.